Please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Don Griffith.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, who knows the real you? When you go online on Facebook, do people there know the real you? Or is it just a username and an avatar? When you meet your friends for lunch, do they know the real you? Maybe they came to Toastmasters and they saw your icebreaker, so they know a little bit about the real you. But of course your spouse, maybe they know the real you. Question is, do you know the real you? Did you know that you are the original genetically modified organism? And this is one that we don't want to avoid. You are made of DNA. And we're going to talk today about using DNA in the sense of, in my case, genealogy, to find who you are and who you relate to. Now, there are several different DNA tests. I'll talk about one today, but there's Y-DNA, quickly. That's to follow your father's genetic line, because fathers pass their Y chromosome to their sons intact. And so you can follow that line all the way back. Or on the mother's side, the mothers will give their mitochondrial DNA to all of their children, and you can follow the mother's line. But I'm going to talk today about what I call autosomal DNA. Now, some of you remember your science classes, and you know that we are built of chromosomes. Every cell in your body has 23 pairs of chromosomes. Now, the one over here is called the sex chromosome. XX or XY determines whether you're male or female. But all of the other chromosomes are called autosomes. And they're also inherited. When you are conceived, your father gives you one half of the chromosome. Your mother gives you the other half. Now, you get 50% of your DNA from your dad, 50% from your mom. You don't know which 50% it is, though. That's what makes us different. Every child in a family, unless they're identical twins, gets a different mix of chromosomes from their parents. So we can juxtapose that information against other people to find out if we're related. Now, how do we do that? Well, one way to do it is with the Ancestry.com DNA test. I'm going to pass this around. This is the collection tube. It uses saliva. So you open the package, you put a couple of cc's of saliva in the tube, seal it, mail it in using the prepaid mailer, and it goes into the lab. And it takes 6 or 8 weeks for the results to come back. Now, while we're waiting for that 6 to 8 weeks to come back for you, I'm going to talk about my results. You get several things that you can study. Now, this is family tree DNA, which is very similar to Ancestry. And you can see here, it's a little hard to read the details, but I'll show you what this is. This is a list of people who match me. Now, this is Judy Sweeney, and it says here that she is somewhere between first cousin and third cousin, and this is how much of our DNA is in common. Well, I know Judy. She's my second cousin. I've known her for 20 years. In fact, she's responsible for getting me started in genealogy, and we've just confirmed a relationship. But what if I didn't know Judy? What if I were adopted? Do you think I might be pretty excited to meet a second cousin and have an email address where I could contact her and find out how I'm related? There are other tools. This is a complicated graph, but do you notice any similarity between these bars? These are the chromosomes. This is a representation of my chromosome in the dark band. And if you see these little yellow stripes, that's where Judy and I match up. So if you're really into it, you can go into the individual chromosome, check it out, see where you match, compare that to other people, and now you can triangulate and find connections that you didn't know you had. Now, those are finding individuals that you relate to. And sometimes you don't necessarily want to know that. You're not a genealogist, you're not building a family tree, but you are interested in where you came from. This is a typical result of one of the DNA tests. They look back at 500 to 1,000 years in the past and look at your DNA, compare it to reference populations, and they give you an estimate of where you're from. The dark blue area there, that's Great Britain. And I already knew from my historical research that I'm British through and through. But I also have some Scandinavian and Southern European. Now, if somebody else takes this test, you'll get a different map. You'll get a different set of matches. We're all different. Now, if you were interested in finding the real you, what would you do? There are a lot of different sources to get your test done. The three biggies are Ancestry, Family Tree, and 23andMe. All of these have basically the same test. You use saliva or a cheek swab. They do the same basic test. They each have different set of tools, charts and graphs, but it all provides this information. In the old days, this used to cost thousands, literally thousands of dollars. Now it's about $100. Ancestry and Family Tree DNA are about $100. 23andMe charges more, but they are also adding health markers to the data. So if you want to know whether you have a genetic marker for a particular disease, you can use 23andMe. I'm personally not interested in that aspect of it. I'm a genealogist. I want to know how I connect. Consider this. If you want to know who you are and where you come from, take one of these tests. It's quick, it's easy. You just have to be patient for that 6 to 8 weeks for the data to come back. And while you're waiting for that, I'm going to share with you one of my favorite cartoons. Even Darth Vader could use a DNA sample test. Mr. Toastmaster.